Well, hello everybody out there in YouTube land. Today is Tuesday, March the 7th. Overcast here in Texas today. Cloudy, a little bit cool. Not cool, but better than 90. So, in Texas, there's this thing that started called Texit. Very original. They're copying off Brexit. You know what Brexit was? That's when England was leaving the European Union. Well, there's people here in Texas that want to secede. I'm sure you've heard about it. But the reason I wanted to make this video today, because people talk about this secession crap all the time here in Texas. I live in Texas, so I have to listen to it all the time. And it never is going to pass. It's never going to happen. But the reason I wanted to make this video is because today, when I was driving home from work this morning, there was a guy on the radio and he's a decently popular, I guess, radio guy. But he's one of these big Trumpers and, Q people and anything. He's an idiot. His name's Trey Ware. Well, today he was talking about this Texas secession crap. And he said one of the most idiotic statements I've pretty much ever heard somebody, especially on the radio, utter. He said, name one thing that the federal government has done for Texas. Because he believes that Texas, if we seceded, we would have oil and gas independency and we would be so rich and we can secure our borders. But really, he's an idiot, because name one thing that the federal government does. Well, Mr. Ware, how are you going to secure the borders? There are 15 military bases in Texas. Those are United States military bases. So if Texas decided to secede, all of those troops would be pulled. All of those bases would be shut down. I know we have a thing called the Texas National Guard, but the National Guard is associated with the U.S. military. Texas doesn't have its own tanks. Texas doesn't have its own army. How are you going to close the border and battle against the cartel when you secede from the Union and the United States closes every military base and pulls out every soldier? So is Texas going to start building tanks really fast and start drafting people? And then think about all of those billions of dollars a year in jobs and revenue the state's going to lose when all of those soldiers that were stationed here in Texas at our many military bases leave. Okay, well, there's one thing. Also, public schools. We got a lot of public schools in Texas. They get federal dollars. That money's going to go bye-bye. What else do we have here in Texas? We have people in Texas that are old that get Social Security and Medicare. Well, Social Security and Medicare are federal programs. So everybody that lives in Texas, if we succeeded, there goes your federal Social Security and Medicare, bye-bye, because why would they pay us? We're our own country now. We'd have to come up with our own plan. What else? Oh, the bank. The bank, your bank account. Your deposits are FDIC. That's federal insurance. But if we succeed, those are going to disappear. So your bank, your account will no longer be federally insured. So if that bank goes under, there goes your money. Also, our money is printed notes by the U.S. government. Texas will have to start making its own money. And what are we going to back it with? I guess oil and gas. That's what we'll back it with, whatever. That's really volatile. So our money would be, today it's worth 1,000, tomorrow it's worth 500, then it's worth 250, then it's worth 10,000. It just go back and forth, back and forth. So that would be horrible. What else? Let's think here. Oh, disaster dollars. Our governor, Greg Abbott, loves to go suck the president's dick when we have a hurricane or we have a tornado or our recent ice storms. That's federal dollars. That's disaster aid from the federal government. But that would all disappear. That would all disappear. So we get a big hurricane, we get a big tornado, we get a big ice storm. Texas is going to have to pay for that. So let's think again. What else? What else? Oh, well, businesses. We've got a lot of businesses here in Texas. I'm sure the United States would be a little bit pissed at us if we decided to secede. So they may just ban businesses from doing business with Texas. So we have a lot of defense contractors here. We have Lockheed Martin, we have Bell Helicopter, we have Void Aircraft. Those are American defense contractors. So those companies may just say, well, we're getting out of Texas and get up and move because they don't want to get banned by Texas. And so Mr. Trey Ware and your idiotic people that want to, Texas to secede, you said, well, we'll make all this money on oil and gas. Well, who are we going to sell it to? Because, again, the United States may be a little pissed at us. So they may put of course we have a huge coastline, but they may put a blockade and say, no, you're not selling none of your oil to nobody because we're pissed at you for seceding. So what's going to happen then? Does Texas have its own submarines and battleships and navy? No. So all of that oil would just be sitting in barrels doing nothing. What else? Speaking of the coastline, those are United States waters. They could fucking control all that. We don't have no way to stop them. Like I said, we have no submarines, and we're going to go out there in bass boats and freaking fight the U.S. military. The Coast Guard, that's the United States. Coast Guard, bye-bye, gone. So Texas, if it did secede, would pretty much within a year be worse than a third world country. We'd have no way to secure the borders, which would mean once the American military pulled out of the state of Texas, the cartels would love that, and they would just rush across the border. So you would have police departments, because you're not going to have no help from the FBI anymore, and you're not going to have no help from ATF anymore, and you're not going to have no help from the National Guard anymore. So you would have police departments and big fat rednecks down at the border battling military armed cartels. That will not do anything. And we wouldn't have no money. We wouldn't have no trading partners because, like I said, the United States could easily shut our borders with the rest of the United States and say, no, we're not going to trade with you because you're a hostile nation. So we're going to put sanctions on you, and we're going to freaking blockade the ocean so you can't sell none of your oil and gas. And what are you going to do? Like I said, come out there with your bass boats and try to fight them? This is how stupid this Texas secession is. Trey Ware on his radio program said today that he bet nobody could name one. Well, I named about 20 right then. And that's just off the top of my head. I'm doing this without a script. So there you go. This Texas secession crap is the stupidest thing in the world. Because states don't realize how much federal funding they actually get from their military bases, Coast Guard, their Social Security, their Medicare, hospitals. If Texas seceded, all our hospitals and nursing homes would shut down because they survive only on getting Medicare and Medicaid payments and stuff like that. They make probably half of or more of their income off of stuff like that from the federal government. So all that would go away. So how are our hospitals going to be funded? Because they lose all of those federal dollars. It's stupid. And anybody who believes that Texas can secede and be successful is living back in the 1800s. They want to romanticize, the Alamo, it was so Sam Houston, it was so awesome. Dude, that was a long, long, long time ago. And things are way different now. So if you want every military base to close, you want the border to be wide open because there's no National Guard anymore. There's no ATF. There's no FBI. You want everybody to lose their Social Security and Medicare. You want everybody to lose their federally insured dollars in their banks. You want businesses to leave Texas. You want to be blockaded. This is what you get from a Texas secession. So to all my fellow Texans out there, don't even entertain these idiots. Texas secession. Texit, no.